Hello and welcome back to UMA 301. So in this session we're going to have a look at using blend shapes to modify our character. Now what we've done so far is set up bones to morph the shape of our character, and the vanilla UMA that you're used to does exactly that. These are great. They basically allow you to do an awful lot of adjustments very cheaply. However, it does get a bit complicated in that you're almost doubling the number of bones that are in a mesh or that are in a skeleton to do this. So sometimes you might not need that level of control over each individual bone's deformation. Another thing is, if you wanted to do something like modify the head and have a slider which changed the entire head into a werewolf shape, very, very difficult to do with bones. However, with blend shapes, or morphs I suppose as they're known in 3ds Max, it's very, very easy to do. So morphs or blend shapes allow you to create some very, very precise changes to a mesh. However, they come at a cost. Effectively, for every single blend shape that you use, you must store the vertex positions of every vertex in the model. So what that practically means is every blend shape creates a brand new copy of the mesh. So if we look at what we have here, let's close up the armature and, well, let's close up the pose and look at the body. And in our inspector here, you can see we have our shape keys. There are 50 that are transferred across with a fuse model. That means effectively we have 50 meshes stored in this file. So that, I'll tell you now, if we try and throw that at UMA, it will choke. It's an awful lot of data for it to process. However, these are largely unnecessary. If we look what we've got here, let's pick something like nose scrunch right and dial that up. You can see what it does. We've got smile right. So some of these are really nice. In fact, what you can see here, these are all designed for use with facial animation. I'm just going to quickly pull this down and sort them alphabetically. So these are all to do with facial animation and not to do with modifying the shape of the face, which is what we're really after in UMA. So although there are 50 of them, I think there's probably only a handful of them that we really need or that we want to carry across into UMA. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a brand new model and strip all of these off, and we're going to create our own blend shape. I'm not going to do it destructively, so we're going to leave this original model here and we're going to copy across a few of the blend shapes that we want and leave it in the file, but we're going to make a cleaner version of this mesh. Okay, so let's get started by selecting the body and coming into the viewport and hitting Shift D to duplicate. So I've got a copy. I'm going to hit escape because I don't want to move it. So you can see we have a copy here now, and I'm just going to hide the original. You've got to be careful with this. You'll see a problem arise with that later, but I'm going to rename this to body clean, let's say, because we're going to clean it up. And in the shape keys here, I'm going to select one of them, use this little drop down menu and say delete all shapes. So now we have no blend shapes, or shape keys as Blender calls them. We have no blend shapes whatsoever within this particular mesh. So clean slate, we can start adding them. So first thing, I'm going to hit the plus button, and this creates the basis shape key. You must have one of these. This is the neutral position. Okay, so to create a new one, I just hit plus again, and it's calling this key 1. Now I'm going to double click this and call this elf ears, because that's what we're going to do with it. So to actually define this, really we just start pulling the mesh around while we have this shape key selected. It really is that easy. So I'm going to hit 5 to go into perspective mode, 1, so I'm looking at the front view, and then I'm going to press tab to enter edit mode. By default everything's selected, So I'm going to press A to deselect, and I'm going to pick 2 points on these ears. So I'm going to pick this point here, and I'm going to shift click this point here. Okay, so I'm now going to press G to grab those points so I can move them around. Actually, no, I'm going to hit escape first, and I'm going to turn on proportional editing. We used this before to give us a soft selection. So I'm going to try again with that G to grab. As you can see, it's grabbing the whole face, so I'm going to roll my mouse wheel forward just to reduce that effect, and you can see the circle comes down. That's it. So I've just got the ears now, and I'm going to hit Z just to restrict my mouse movement to Z only. That's it. So I'm going to pull the ears up like this. Looks good. I'm also going to scale because I want them to just stick out a little bit more. So I'm going to hit S and again X just to control it in the X, and just roll my mouse wheel to reduce the effect on the sides of the head there. Right, that looks good. There. That's it. And that really is it. If I hit Tab to go back into normal mode, you can see my morph disappears. Let's just get rid of that orthographic view. There we are. So now if I use this L-key as slider and I hold down and click, you can see I can actually slide that morph on and off. Again, this costs just as much as an entire head morph, so you could go ahead and put horns on, make his chin grow, everything, and it will not cost you any more than just doing this. It's just one mesh, effectively. One morph is one mesh. So feel free to add whatever you like. One thing more I would like to show you is how to copy existing morphs from one mesh to another. So pretty easy to do, but what is important here is that I have my source mesh visible. You'll find if you don't have it visible, Blender will complain, you'll get an error. So if you do while you're copying morphs across, this is why. So I'm going to go back to my original, and I'm going to find first of all that mouth open. So let's have a look. There's mouth open. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to shift select my target mesh. Okay, there's ours with those two morphs in, and I'm going to pull down this menu and say where are we? Transfer shape key. Bang, that's come across. Just to have a look at this, I'm just going to quickly hide our original, and you can see there it is. Now this has switched modes. I just want to show you, don't panic, but now when I'm clicking on them, it's now showing the full morph. The sliders don't do anything anymore. This happens when you copy. Don't panic. There are two modes you can be in with shape keys. We can be in pinned mode, which is what we are now, where you click on them to see the full morph, and that's activated by this little button here. Or we can be in normal mode, where you can actually blend shape keys together. Okay, so don't panic, that little button switches modes. Okay, so I'm going to turn that back off, and you can see how blends work again. That's great. So you can go through and pick whatever you want. I think one more thing I'd like to show you is how to combine and mix shape keys. So I'm going to copy the two blink keys across, and we're going to combine them into a single morph. So let's go back to the body, make sure that it's visible, and let's find the blinks. So blink left, shift select our target, and transfer that key across. Again, back to the original, blink right, shift select our target, and transfer that across. Okay, let's hide the original mesh, and again it's moved us into pinned mode, so I'm going to switch pin mode back off. If I want to create a full blink that isn't just blink left and right, I can turn this morph right up, turn this one right up, and then again from our little drop down menu I can say create a new shape from the current mix, and that'll create this one here. So let's just turn these blinks off again, and this key 5, if you look what I've got here, that is a mix of those two. So I can delete these. Now I can get rid of blink left, get rid of blink right, and I'm going to rename key 5 just to plain old blink. So there you go. Working with shape keys in Blender is really quite straightforward. You can find you'll have a lot of fun doing that, and you can get some really great effects with UMA. So we'll take this over into Unity in our next episode and have a look at some of the issues we need to deal with, because you'll find there are a couple of gotchas that we need to fix. Okay, but have fun with that, play with it, see what you can come up with, and I will see you next time.
And once again, I'd like to say a big thank you to my patrons for making this possible. If you would like to support me, feel free to click that link at the end of the video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.